Hello and welcome back to Hollowponds Solo Sagas, where we are playing our final episode of Series 1 of Captain's Log, the adventures of Captain Matane and the USS Rumter. This is our 16th episode, and this is Act 3 of our Return to the Titan story. What has happened up until this point? We were called back to the Titan. We had some strange drones are attacking the Titan. Well, I think we originally assumed that they were the psionics who were controlling them. I don't know if that is still the case, or it could have been an automated system which came from the Titan as our story evolved as we played through, that came out. We have come across some strange sort of the psionics, the Jedis in their capes were fighting some guards who were the inhabitants of this Titan. The guards died. We had pretty much a lot of failures in the last episode, and we came across the two psionics who are they're discussing the mistake, how to contain and turn the rift off, power down the rift, and what's causing the issue. Now, what they don't know is how long that they were in cryogenic sleep, and how much time has passed since they went to sleep. They don't know that. We have Matane, Security Officer J, Science Officer Relic, and Ensign Lekas. The four of them, I can count. The four of them have basically surprised our angelic looking others. The angelic looking others, who are the psionics, as they're attempting to do in some form of laboratory, attempting to work out, or they're attempting to do something using devices that are a bit foreign to us. Our universal translators will work with them because the Federation team has had enough time to run language processing procedures on the information that they've got out of the computers aboard the Titan I'm just making all this up as I flow, to be able to understand the communication, and for universal translators to translate our speech to them, their speech to us. Boom. That is where we are. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for being a subscriber. If you are not a subscriber, do consider subscribing. It will then allow you to know when this series comes back, or the other things that I do, and as they come out. I will remind you, if you haven't decided, at the end as well. And thank you so much to the Adventurers Guild for all your support in making the videos. So, Act 3, Scene 1. Let's do our Captain's Log Supplemental 2. Stardate 5235.4. Captain Matane of the USS Rumter. We went aboard the Titan that had returned from wherever with an attempt to find out what's causing the psionic energies that are controlling the drones and were previously causing disruptions to the warp core of the ships surrounding us, which we are now safe from, and were causing psychological issues within some of the members of the teams. We have encountered what seems like two factions within the ship. We attempted to save the life of one of the factions unsuccessfully, and have cornered two what seem to be scientists that wield strange weapons and seem to be angelic of look. So we have these two who are in some form of laboratory doing some form of stuff. There's a table here which says research, which just so happens to be open, that I have it open on. It's a D20 table. 13. The self-aware computer here demands all visitors submit to an invasive brain scan. Okay. What do we need to do? We have got these two people. We've got the four of us. We've stepped up. They are psionic, so they could overcome us. So they are going to probe Methane. Methane has to try and resist a probe. So the first act, scene 1 of Act 3, we need, so what do we need out of this? So what we need out of this is we need to, in this scene, we need to convince them that we can help them turn off the rift. We then, in the next couple of scenes, can attempt to turn off the rift, to power down the rift, bit of engineering excitement, and then we can close this episode with us basically attempting to initiate that first contact, and we failed, and then we have the down and then the up for this bit, and then we end the series with that first contact, and we find out maybe series 2 is all about this Titan. Maybe the Titan can go somewhere, or exploring the Titan. But for now, first off, we need to, so let's make that list. What do we have? We need to make friends. So trust. We need them to trust us. We need to fix the mechanical problem, the rift. We need diplomatic agreement, and then we can do a form of first contact. For us, it's first contact, whatever this species is for us. So we've got 4 bits, and we have 5 scenes to try and do those 4 bits in. So first off, we want them to trust us, make friends. They will attempt to probe us, River being up front and doing the talking. We will have presence and command. Presence is a 10, command is a 13. River is going to attempt to resist them probing or send a message back. We have a 15 and a 1. What do we have? We have presence of a 10 and command. So that's a 13, so it's a success. So we have a success for Methane is resisting them probing, and he's going to say, are you doing something? They're going to look a bit shocked that Methane is able to resist them. Are you doing something? And then Methane is going to attempt to strike up a negotiation and say, we understand your language. We've been studying, I think it's been a couple of months. I think based on the star date now being 5235, and the star date for the last one was 5007. So we've had a good like 2. I think, isn't it a day? Isn't each one of them? So we've got 235. So maybe it's over a year. Maybe it's like 6 months or so. 230 is the difference approximately. That's not quite a year. So it's been about. So they've been studying this for a time, for a time. And so Methane is going to say, we understand your language. You can just speak to us if you need to. We've been studying this craft for a while now, and we didn't come across any survivors. Yet you seem to have been in conflict with somebody. Not meaning to, what's going on? Can we help you? We are experts at engineering, and you mentioned something about shutting down an engine and a rift. So he's going to basically attempt to strike up a conversation. So we can call that negotiations, because he does have a focus on negotiations. We can say that is presence and command, giving a 13. And then we are going to have Methane attempting to broker some form of trust. So a 13. Way! A 2 and a 4 being a momentum. Now we could burn that momentum right off, and we're going to say that we're going to burn that straight away and call this a success, and say that Methane is going to step forward. Methane will holster his phaser, turn to J and sort of signal. Everyone holsters their weapons. Methane is going to step forwards and start to talk as technical. Now, Methane does have ancient technology and emergency repairs as focuses. Now, we're talking about weird technology. So it's not ancient technology as in, it's also got electric plasma power, which is power systems. So he has power systems, ancient technology, and emergency repairs as focuses. We're talking about this rift as a weird power source and trying to power it down. So I think Matane is going to put forward a coherent, believable argument that he and his team are equipped to help. They can't communicate the way that these two can. They possibly don't think the same way. They definitely don't look as good as they do, but they can do their jobs and do their jobs well. And all that these people need to do is trust in them, and they will trust equivalently. And so Matane, who is a he/him, successfully negotiates a treatise of peace between them. Now, will Matane spend the time to call back? Don't forget you can talk it through. No, it's not always best to follow processes. Would be possibly that Matane isn't going to call in, maybe he's going to have to do an update at some point. So first off, so we've got the rift. Let's take Matane, let's cut scene. All right, we will cut scene and we'll assume that Matane has contacted back and given an update to the Admiral of the Fleet. And we are going to cut back to them in the room with the rift, the dimensional rift, that caused the problem in the first place. So Matane is going to let them know what are they called? Let's roll up what these things are called. These are alien name world generator. All right. How many syllables you want the species or world to have? Less than 4 syllables. If you select less than 4 syllables, then omit the last letters in the progression suggestion. If you select less than 4 syllables, then omit the last 4 letters in the last letter. Okay. Let's go. All right. Roll D20, which is a 4. 4 is ACBD. ACBD. Which would be A is a 5, which is HU, 3 FI, no, hold on, 3 is ON, Huon, and then just do another one. Unless Huon that's an 18. For C, which is HUON, dull. Huondal. The Huondal. Huondal? Huondal. The Huondal. So they are the Huondal. And they declare themselves, well, they're not going to declare themselves from the Delta Quadrant, are they? Because they didn't qualify themselves to be in the Delta Quadrant, to use the term Delta Quadrant. So they declare themselves from an area of space. And they say where they're from, but we don't know where that is in the moment, but it's going to end up being the Delta Quadrant. So they say they're from a certain location, certain part of space, and they mention a different frame of time reference, which also doesn't sync up with our time reference. So they still don't know how long they've been around for. And so that would be, we'll do that under the diplomatic agreement bit. But at the moment, they tell us the story that we had last time, which was that they were doing some experiments. They are experimenting in so it's got deflector upgrade, but we are going to say that they are deflecting, we're attempting to deflect time and space to allow for fast transmissional movement, which constitutes breaking through the dimensional barriers to allow a ship to move between locations almost simultaneously. It went wrong, and they broke through, and it caused some. So it involves a level of telepathic control, which is what they're there for, the military, their military were not happy with the outcomes, which often cause people to either be aggressive or refuse aggression, because one of the things about having this level is that some people just feel a part of the absolute and that can't perform aggressively. But these two don't have that, obviously, because they killed 4 people. And they give Matane and Relic all that information, and then we have, so that would be that bit. Where's that gone? So then we've got that. Now this is a negotiation, which we would say then we've negotiated and we've worked. So we've got that information and we're back at so all of this is, all information is given to us and given to the audience as we have the interactions between Matane, Relic, and the two, and there's one obviously leader of the scientists, and then the secondary, as they're attempting in that room that we've already seen, which is the engine space with the dimensional rift being held in some sort of magnetic field, and they're attempting to analyze what's happening and make the field go down. Now, what we then can have to add a bit of tension into this, and to add, there's some other stuff going on that we could bring into series 2 if we remember, is that there seems to be something within the rift that doesn't want it shut down and that caused the problem in the first place. And that's where we can find out that the reason why we can't use this technology, and this technology will not be allowed to be used, is that there's something on the other side wanting to come through, like an elder god, an old one. So that's what we'll have for this scene. This scene is going to be them attempting, so we've got that exposition happening with the communication, and then we can have this scene as being trying to shut down that rift, which was fix the problem. This we can have, Matane can also step forward, and we can have Matane's being one of the primary executors, one of the primary forces for change within this part of this episode, to then allow us to keep that character strong to move into series 2, to try and get renewed. So we are going to have, so we've got, don't forget to talk it through, that we can then burn if this fails as a value to try and give us that story success in closing, which is that Matane will then, because of the failure, Matane is going to turn to the lead scientist and Relic, and they'll talk through the problem and resolve it that way. So Matane is going to attempt to, we're going to work out that there's something on the other side, and then we might have a psionic battle with the thing on the other side to push it through to then shut it down, and that will be fixing the rift. So fixing the rift is going to be a 2-part, which is going to be scene 12 and scene 13, which is working out what's going on, beginning to close it down, and the psychic battle to force it back into the rift, with mainly Relic and the scientists working to do that. So Matane in trying to shut it down whilst they're talking with the exposition. We've got a reason of 11, and let's say engineering, an engineering of 5, giving us a 16. It's massive. Like, if we fail this, it's going to be madness. But we do have ancient technology, electric plasma power systems as being focuses, so we can throw in a advantage if this works. We have, I don't believe it, we have a 16. So we got what was it, reason. Oh, that is 16. Oh, I remember we said not on the 16. It's just a success. It's not a momentum, it's a success. So we have a partial success. So we have a success. So Matane has understood how this technology works. The scientists step back as Matane is talking through what he's doing as he does scientific changes. He mentions the rerouting the power conduits. He mentions shutting down the plasma, which is feeding into the rift and maintaining the rift and attempting to close it down. And that's where he is going to say that the rift is refusing to shut down, and it's like there's something on the other side holding the rift open on its side. We can have them all suffer some form of psychic shock as it growls that it's going to knock Matane back, being a human, even though Matane had the force of will to protect himself from the scientists. He won't have the presence to be able to protect himself from this force beyond the veil, which will then give Relic will step forward. We could do a Star Trek crossover with Cthulhu. That might be really cool actually. We could do actually that really might. We can do Relic will step forward with the scientists, and they are going to talk through, and we'll have that in some sort of cutscene to some a mystic veil battle between an entity that we don't quite get to see, but very much has a Cthulhu vibe to it, and Matane, and Officer Relic, Science Officer Relic, and the scientists, the Huondal, the Huondal head scientist, whose name is Jeff. So we'll have Relic. Relic is going to need to use. So it's none of these things really. Let's use comms, science, engineering, structure, because instead of being a ship, it's Relic. 7 for structure and science of 3. That gives us 10s. A single success. Single success is good. It's not a momentum, so we will do a partial here. But we're going to want a second one. So Relic is pushing up back against, and the scientists are pushing back. So let's have no. Can Matane help? Not really. We are going to have. Let's have J. Let's have Security Officer J. Security Officer J is going to result to brute force as they're pushing this thing back, and he is going to shoot the rift. And if he gets a hit on this, we will let them have a overall success. If he gets a fail, they need to roll again to try and get a success. Otherwise, we're going to have it burst through, and the story really goes weird then. Okay, so Security Officer J is going to use weapons of an 8 and security of a 3, which is an 11, to attempt to shoot into the middle of this rift, tuning the energy within the phaser rifle to be just right to attempt to hold back whatever's on the other side of the rift. We get a fail. Okay, so that is a fail. It's not a threat, but is a fail. So, as Security Officer J fires in, we will have Matane is going to say, "Don't do that," causing J to stop. Oh, it's a shame. I really wanted J to chip in there. So instead, we need another success. We need another success because I've only coloured in half of the box for this. We need another success to shut that down. So how are we going to shut it down? I am going to give Matane the ability. Matane is going to scanner operations, subspace mechanics. Matane is going to pick up on the using the tricorder to pick up on the subspace mechanical signals emanating from this, giving Matane the information that Matane needs to put into the holding matrix the correct resonance to cause the crystalline structure to build up around the rift, absorbing the rift's energy and causing the rift to collapse in upon itself. It's going to start at the moment, it's getting bigger as the creature on the other side is tearing the fabric of reality itself open, which was in fact helped by the phaser fire from J, the failure. Right, Matane is going to attempt to do this, and if he fails, we are going to have to burn a value to get at it, because we really don't want this to fail. I really don't want this to fail, because that is going to mean that we're going to have to deal with an elder god coming through into this time zone. I'm not ready to do Cthulhu at this point. So we have got science or engineering. Let's go science, innit? Which is a shame because that's a 4, not 5. And then insight or reason. Insight. Reason will give us a 16. Insight will give us a 13. Let's go 13. Let's cripple ourselves. 13s. We've got a 19 and a 6, which is a hit. I'd have preferred a momentum, but a hit will do because a single success then gives us this. So maintain using because the 6 is below insight of an 8, and with the engineering of a 5, it's almost that, which means that we've got our subspace mechanics, and we will cause that story advantage that the crystalline structure that will then give us. Then we've got diplomatic agreement, first contact. So that will give us this structure begins to build up. We have this nice scene with all of this, you know, chinking structure coming up around it. We see, shall we see a claw? Yeah, go on. Let's see a claw. We see a claw come through this rift and then get forced back because of the crystalline structure. Maybe, what was his name? Lecus. Maybe Lecus is going to scream as this claw comes through. Lecus is going to scream because Lecus. Let's do so. Lecus has to pass. This is just to see if Lecus is going to get psychically damaged. Lecus is going to have to pass a structure and science, which is 10s. Lecus has a single success, and so because we said that it's below, I don't think it's matches, but below, which is just a 9, a jest, and passes out. Lecus doesn't die. No bloody eyeballs exploding. And the rift is, then the crystal begins to crack and fall in upon itself. The machine breaks and the rift is gone at this point. But of course, just as in Warhammer 40k, they now know we are here. And we have the rift fixed. Yay! Tick on fix, mechanically repair rift. 2 scenes left. Diplomatic agreement. Cutting to, let's see, we don't want, they probably wouldn't come aboard the Rumpter at this point. We could have them aboard the Rumpter. It would be good. No, because we want to get them around a table somewhere else. We will have this stage. They will rush to Science Officer J. This is good. And we will rush Science Officer J, who is on their knees and had screaming because it went into. It seemed he got affected by it. They will be worried that it would have permanently affected science, the security officer. This gives us a chance to do diplomacy, to say we did help. Can you see that we're now help? Let's work together to help you out. We can then uncanonically find out about the Delta Quadrant before the Voyager goes and discovers about it. So we need to have some form of diplomacy between us and the Huondal. So the Huondal, so we've only got those. Are there any others on board? Are there any others? So we've got them two. Let's say it is somewhat probable. Let's say it's very probable. So 1 to 15. Are there more here? One. Yes, indeed. So we're going to talk to. Oh, that does. Then we've got like a whole sort of ecosphere of people that we could go around instead of doing, starship voyaging. This could be. We are actually exploring the Titan and trying to bring these people together. This humongous, almost planet-sized ship, small planetoid-sized ship. We're attempting to bring the people on board this ship together. That could be series 2. So we will go. We were talking to the Huondal, and we have found out there's more people on board. this is as we're attempting to, so Matane is going to take the parallel play type approach. There's all the bit that actually sitting facing someone face to face is actually very confrontational. And if you actually want to get onto somebody's good side, particularly apparently males, sitting facing them is the least best way to speak to someone. The best way is to sit next to someone. And so you are both facing the same direction and you're turning to talk to each other. So Matane, who has of course done courses on negotiating and dealing with people, doesn't want to seem very confrontational to the Huondal. And so as they are crouched helping Security Officer Jay, Matane will crouch next to them, deferring to their expertise over what this problem is that Jay is going through. And Matane is going to use that to attempt to speak to them. He's going to approach it from a technological point of view, a science technological point of view, but then try and get them to agree to have some form of diplomacy. Now, we've got presence, which is probably the best for this, and we might whack in medicine. So presence of 10, medicine is 1, which is one of Matane's worst, but it then seems to make sense that Matane is talking about the medicine and also trying to use Matane's presence to convince the Huondal that that they should trust the Federation. So to basically, so not quite first contact. I mean, but it's fine to say first contact because they made it first. But try and broach that bit. So Matane, so this is going to be a scene purely around that conversation. Matane is mainly explaining who they are and what they do and how they could possibly help the Huondal, and how, as far as they're aware, the Huondal have been in suspended animation for quite a long time because of the age of the ship, which may be the first thing that the Huondal have heard about that. A 4 and a 12. We've only had one momentum the whole time, but it is a success. So Matane is successfully bridged the gap between, and also we've just skimmed over the fact that those two scientists murdered those 4 security, but we have found out that there are things on board this ship, that there are multiple different groups of people that would be in suspended animation. The ship has awoken at this point. So let's do that. Let's say that the Titan is awake. The Titan awakes, we'll call this episode. So more, as that rift closed down, more of the systems on board the Titan have come online. The Huondai are going to say about the engines. Matane will say the engines are dead. And that we now have, so what was that? So that's a success. So far we're doing good on this one. We have them being in agreement. Now we're going to do our final bit, which we will cut to Matane is going to attempt to introduce these people. So now we're on board a Federation ship. We could say it looks like it's the ready room of the Rumta, where the scientists have said that they would like to see the Federation ship. Matane is very proud of the Rumta, so invites them to the Rumta. The Admiral will be there as well. Matane is going to try and convince the Admiral to allow them to keep working with the Huondai Dal to... how can you pronounce the name you've just made up wrong? He's going to try and convince the Admiral to allow the Matane and the Matane's crew to work with the Huondal to work out where, to basically bring those peoples, the diverse peoples within the Titan, on to, we could do like a short run series, couldn't we? Onto the Federation and then integrate them in. Wherever they are from, it is so far away that we can't get them home within a reasonable time. We don't have the ability to get them home because they're now worked out that. So this can be the exposition about how far they've travelled, Delta Quadrant, how long it would take to get back home, too long, and the best way is that they need to be integrated into Federation society, and that they can try and, but to do that, there's this massive sort of planetoid wide ship that needs to be with diverse people in all different sections, brought together, told what's going on, and then reintroduced. There we go. So how are we going to do that? We will do that. We are going to have command this time, and we will have, let's have presence into presence. We'll have presence and command as Matane attempts to basically, Matane does most of the talking in this scene, exposition over what's going on, proposition of what could happen. The Huondal will be looking very angelic, robes, hood down, probably, I don't know, imagine them. Whatever you imagine as being, this is how, whatever you imagine as being angelic, that's what they look like. I'm not going to tell you what they look like. You imagine it yourself, and that's what they look like. That way, I can't offend anyone. It's whatever you see. If only we could do that on television, no one would get offended. No one would need to cry about a joke. We have, so command of 3, presence of 10, 13s. Oh, come on. This is where we need a momentum. We have one. We have, that was very squeaky. We have a 6 and a 3. We have negotiations is one of our focuses. Even our command of 3, we get under our command of 3. But we have a momentum, which means that we have an overall success on our last episode of Series 1, where the Admiral grants Matane the records of first contact with the Huondal. The Rumta is told that it's to stay and help the Huondal scientists inform the rest of the Titan that they are there, and we think we can then feed into Series 2, which would be on the Titan trying to bring the people together. So we could do a short run series, a couple of episode stories with a few of the different types of peoples on the Titan, and bringing them in to the fold of the Federation and bringing them all together. And that, my friends, that is Captain's Log. Or that's my version, anyway. It's not the one way is the true way, it's just a way. So yeah, that is Captain's Log, and that will be the end of Series 1 of Captain's Log, as all of this material will be put into a box and sent to Belgium. The earliest, it would be the middle of December that I'll get it back. The latest will be the middle of January, based on no pirates or none of this stuff, drinking too many Mai Tais and falling overboard. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing, as you just watched me play several episodes of Captain's Log. We will return to Captain's Log, and the easiest way to know when it returns is to become a subscriber. Thank you so much to the Adventurers Guild for all of your support financially in producing these videos. You can join the Adventurers Guild. You have the Superfan Thank You, who supports the videos and is a member of the YouTube membership. And then we have the Early Doors, who is a member of the YouTube membership but gets access to the videos about 3 weeks early. And there are some special videos, behind the scenes stuff, which when I get to Belgium I'll be doing a lot more of, but packing stuff away has just been a bit difficult. And there are other ways you can support, where Superfan, we've got the Super Thanks, the little thumb Super Thanks, and no one's done one of those in ages. Or there is a coffee thank you, or there are books on drive-through that you can purchase if you haven't already. And anyone who has purchased one, if you're watching, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I really appreciate all of your support, all of your watches during this. This seems to have sparked a bit. I've been mentioned on Michael and Jim's podcast, Continuing Conversations. I appeared on that, and so it's really cool. It's really, really cool. Thank you so much for all of your support and of my creativity. And if I have giving you any form of inspiration to do your own creativity, that's the biggest thanks. I am overjoyed. And if I have helped, if you stick it in the comments, not just for my self-serving or my ego, because it might help others as well, to produce things using this fantastic game, which is a narrative game of imagination and is really cool. Really, really cool. And I think I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much. I shall see you very soon. I don't know what I'm going to play next, but I'll see you very soon playing it. See ya.